Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this card. And I'm calling this technique Vellum Flower Petals. And these are actually vellum, and I put kind of a design on it so they have like a lot of movement. And this was a case from another demonstrator, Leanne Gruff. But only I made it my own colors. Alright, let's get started. So we have a piece of vellum, and this is actually, how big is this? 2 3/4 by 8 1/2. Doesn't have to be this size, but this seemed to work very well for what I want to do. So I'm just taking the vellum. You won't be able to see it too well right away. And I'm using Azure Afternoon and Granny Apple Green. So I'm taking the Granny Apple Green first, and I want to do this all in one swoop. And I want to make 2 at once, so this is how I'm doing it. So I'm taking about 1 1/4 inches. You can do it on your grid sheet or just kind of guess. It's not like a science. It's just about what it takes for this to work, for this particular design. Okay, so I'm just doing it on both ends, and that will give us for the leaves. And then the inside, and this is called direct to paper technique also, to ink it up using just the ink pad. And now I'm doing the same thing over the center of it. You need a well inked stamp pad, so I had to refill this during class so that I made sure I had enough. Okay, so I will take this off so you can see better. I had another sheet here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now I will take a water painter. I just have the old ones handy. So I'm just using this, and I'm doing like little swirls kind of throughout the thing. And this is what gives it that texture. Oops. Like so. There. And that's all it takes for that part of it. Now you can let it dry, which will take forever, or you can use your heat tool, which is what I'm going to do, and I will be right back after I heat it up. Now that this was heated and dried, I can put my finger on it. It didn't get any ink on it. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of a mess, but that's what we want. We will now cut this in half. That's why it was folded. And I'll show you why I'm doing it this way. You don't have to, but for this particular dies, this works out. So we're putting them together. I'm doing the inky side down. It's dry, but it doesn't matter. And I'm taking the translucent florals dies, and these are an online exclusive. Again, you can order these as part of an order. It's just like an extension of our catalog, so you don't have, you just go there and you see additional items that are not in the catalog. So I'm using these translucent dies, and I'm using the big one and the little one and 2 leaves. And there are actually 4 of them in there, but I'm just doing it so you can cut 2 to 4 of the vellum at a time. So I'm using my Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. And here you might want to use some post-it notes or some washi tape or something to hold it down. We'll see if it cooperates, because this is a little slippery. So I'm putting it down. You always put your base plate, your clear plate. This one's cracked. I'm going to put this one down. And then the big flower, and you're cutting out 2 at once, and the little flower. And I'm leaving a little bit of space because I'm cutting out just with a punch. some just little samples, and then that's how I got my sample for club. It's just to show what it's going to look like. And then the green. Let's see, when we put our plate on and I let go, what's going to happen? Okay, we're good to go. It's going to crack. I think it's just cutting the paper. I'm just going to bring it back again. I have to hold on tight just because otherwise it moves around with the paper. That's the only reason. It's not that hard, it's just so it doesn't move around. Okay, I'll take these off. Uh-oh, must die. Okay. And then we use our, pull them all off. I have a little container. I got this from Harbor Freight, if you have one around or whatever, and it pulled up any dies. When I have my dies, it's got a huge magnet on the bottom of it, and it's nice when you lose dies because then you just go around the thing and it picks them up. Or after I use them, I just put them in this so that I don't lose them because they get lost very easily. I'll put those away later. So here are my pieces. Get them all over there. Alright, so here, like I said, I have a little bit of pieces left over. So I just took a punch and just punched out little pieces of it, or you could just cut them like floral shapes and then just glue them onto your sample piece. So you use every little schnibble of it. Now this one, you can see how variegated these are because that's from the swirls that we put in, so that just gives it a little extra texture. Now we will glue the card base and then this layer, so whatever color of flowers you want to do, then that's what this color would typically be. The sample I saw had, I believe it was fresh freesia, but I want to use this Azure Afternoon because I haven't used it yet. I'm going to glue this on because there's a lot of texture. This was using the Cane Weave embossing folder. Okay. Now, when I put the flowers on, this is what I like to do. I like to kind of lay out where the first flower will go, putting it on the bottom left. Put one little dot of glue, yeah, right there, and just setting the flower down. I do the ink side down in case it were to get wet or whatever. It doesn't matter which side you use. One is more vibrant than the other. Put another dot of glue on there, and then we put it opposite of what this one is. Hold it down for a moment, and then the other flower, the little one, again you can use however many or whatever you'd like. This one goes here, putting that right about there, and then the other one, just a tiny, tiny bit of glue, and this one goes this way. Then I had cut out, they have these little centers, and I put the centers in a little post-it note if you get your kit. And this is how I usually prepare things so for classes. I just put it on a post-it note so they don't get lost because they're so tiny. Again, you'll put a little dot in the center of each. Take your centers, put it on there. Here's the other one. And just a little hint. Now for the leaves, I'm putting glue on the bottom of the leaf. I'm just sliding it in there. And do another big leaf on this one. Like so. Usually you use 3. We'll see how it looks with 3. It's the odd rule. Put one up here just to fill up the card, and I'm using the fourth one just because I have it. Okay, and this one will go over here like so. Now I had taken the happy birthday sentiment in the So Sincere Sentiments and embossed it in white on just a little 1/2 inch piece of azure and popped that up, used the dimensionals, and then I have some opaque gems that I put on there just for a little bit of filler space. And then there were some yellow gems that I had, and I put that in the centers of the flower. You can kind of see them. Not necessary, but it kind of adds a little bit of something. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.